All right, I believe we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, let me tell you. It's been a work in process, or work in progress. Wow, okay, well, the title on Twitter, I guess, was number 12. Season 6 was here. Didn't even know it posted to Twitter. Ripperoonie. Okay, well, anyway, as you can see, it's just me today talking to you guys on the webcam. Kosmic is not here as of right now. I haven't heard from him in like 2 hours. I don't know where he is. He was supposed to be on. We had an idea for a topic, and I haven't heard from him in a little while. So it's just going to be me as of right now. So today, I just got a message from Daly. He said he's currently at the gym. Hold on. Okay. But I was just telling Daly it's just me. But either way, so what I want to talk about tonight is I want to be talking about kind of the current standings within the league, and then I kind of want to break down some things maybe my mind will kind of go to randomly throughout this. And kind of catch up on one of those things. Now, on this, it's going to be titled Hot Takes. It's because Cosmic had an idea for kind of questioning one person that we were supposed to bring on and kind of ask them questions about each individual person. So other than that, I'm not too sure. We'll talk about tonight's matchups and then maybe possibly the rest of this week's matchups because it's just me. And then we'll talk about the 6v6 EASHL Hockey League tournament that Walker has put together. And I really want to kind of stress on that a little bit. And then we'll go from there. So first thing I want to start on is the league standings at this current moment. So at number 1, we got the Draw Pass Murphys. Number 2, we got We Give 60. 3, we got the Swift Pups. And 4, we got Non-Cane Sensuals. And then I'm going to add the number 5 team here of Knights of the Frozen Throne. So I want to knock out the top 5 teams right here. We currently have a 2-way tie for third place between the Swift Pups and the Non-Cane Sensuals, but the Non-Cane Sensuals have 3 more games played than the Swift Pups, so the Swift Pups are technically in third place with less games played. So, I want to talk this down right now. We got the Draw Pass Murphys with 27 games played. That is 3 games less than the We Give 60s Non-Cane Sensuals, and they have 3 games more than the Knights of the Frozen Throne. They are currently sitting in first place comfortably with 46 points over We Give 60 with 41 points. They are currently number 1 in the league in goals with over 100 goals. They are 101. They currently are in first place in the league for least amount of goals at 41. Next closest team is We Give 60 with 10 plus more goals than that against. So they're at 51 goals against. They are not leading the league in hits, but they are higher up in hits. They are pretty up high in shots. Penalty minutes, they are one of the top in the league as well. Their power play percentage, I believe, is number 1 in the league with 30.9%. Their penalty kill is number 1 in the league at 91.4%. And their time on attack is about higher of the pack. Their last 10, they're 8-1-1, and they're on a 2-win streak. Thankfully, one of those losses to my club, the Non-Cane Sensuals. So, Draw Pass Murphys, they're lighting it up. They're a solid team. I think B-Crips, I said it on the Eastover Elitist show, I think B-Crips is a solid reason why this team gets victories. They have a solid roster, no doubt, and points are coming from everywhere. You got Donnywood, that is basically the last place person on their team for points, and he has 30 points as a defenseman, 8 goals and 22 assists. You got Murph with 21 games played with 32 goals. I think that's a mix of defense and forward. You got BBX that plays, I think he started out at center and he's now at right D. He's got 38 points, 12 goals, 26 assists in 27 games. This lineup they have is unbelievably good. Gugatron, I believe, is a first season guy. 65 points, leads the team. Next closest person is basically 20 points behind. He has 28 goals, 37 assists. Rocking the team. Schwartz is the next person behind with only 15 games played, 12 less games played, has 24 goals, 23 assists, and the same goes with Saney with 13 goals, 26 assists at 39 points with 15 games played. So their points are evenly coming throughout everyone on this team, especially when they're here. So that's really helping out this roster that everyone is producing, so you can't really key in on one person. Ow, I just smoked my mic. And hold on, I got to type back to Daly here. No worries. Okay, there we go. So now we want to talk about We Give 60. Everybody's favorite team to talk about because we got X to the D to the A to the L to the Y as their captain. Okay, so Hockey Town, Amazing Viper, Hugh Laurie. Not much difference in points here. You got Hugh Laurie, who is the lowest producing offenseman on the team, with 42 points. But he also has 2 less games played than Viper and Hockey Town. And Viper is the next person with 48 points, and Hockey Town is number 1 with 56. That's pretty evenly spread. I mean, you got 14 points total between the number 1 scoring person on the team and their third forward. So, I mean, that's pretty good. And then they have 8 points difference between Viper and Hockey Town. So that's pretty even. I mean, they've got scoring coming from all 3 guys. Over 20 goals each for each individual, and then over 20 assists for each individual. So they're all kind of producing. And then you got Daly with 30 points, and you got Odd Guy with 20 points. Daly 2 goals, 28 assists. Odd Guy 2 goals, 18 assists. And then you've got Thomps that's lighting it up with 6 shutouts, a 1.67 goals against average with a .85 save percentage. Unreal to me. This guy, you could add 2 more shutouts to this tally against my squad, the non-Kane Sensuals, if we didn't score on them in the last minute of the third period. Amazing goalie, easily helping their team out. One of the best defenses in the league that I've ever seen, and their forward lineup just manages to have EA love them to the point that they're willing to help them put the puck in the net. But, I mean, you can't have EA bounces all 3 games that they swept us, so they're doing something right. Team's phenomenal right now. They are 29-1 in their last 10. They are 7-3. They're currently on a 2-loss record right now. So, team's currently figuring out, but they're in second place, 41 points. They'll probably finish roughly in second place. I think they have maybe 3-4 more series to go, and the Job Pass Murphys have 1 more series than them added on to that. So, if the Murphys keep up on the pace they are at, they should keep number 1. We Give 60 should keep at number 2. But you never know. They could have another bad series, and the Swift Pups or non-Kane Centrals could overtake them, and we'll see from there. So that actually leads us into number 3 team here, the Swift Pups. 27 games played. They currently have 38 points. That's behind the We Give 60 squad of 41 points. 18 wins, 7 losses, and 2 overtime losses. 18, 17, and 2. They are one of the better offenses in the league. One of the better defenses in the league, too. They keep the pucks out of the net. Their hits stay low while their shots stay high. Penalty minutes are low. Their power play percentage is one of the higher ones in the league as well, with 26.5%. Their PK unit is actually about average, if not a little bit higher than average, at 88.6. We're going to break down this team. So No Regretski sits at the number 1 spot with 27 games played with 35 goals, 36 assists. So he's pretty even in both departments with 71 points. He has 20 penalty minutes. His shooting percentage is 28.7%. 28.7%. That's high. Now let me tell you, the next person in line is Esoteric. 27 goals, 26 assists. Again, even in both departments, 53 points. This guy, 12 penalty minutes. His shooting percentage, a 25.7. This guy is lighting it up. Now listen, I know the show sometimes is just breaking down stats. It's just breaking down the littlest things. And it's kind of stating the obvious in some aspects. And I know, like, we kind of get wrote on it for, whether it's on the Throwdown or whether it's on the Eastover show. But I'm here to state the obvious to you that you may overlook. Esoteric and No Regretskis both shoot over a 25% shooting average. I don't know if you get that in your mind. It's phenomenal to have like 15 to 20%. But 25% is amazing. And then we got the rookie guy that everyone's loving right now, and there's a reason to be, Rondon Vellante. I think he went undrafted, gets signed, 18 games played, 18 points. That's 12 points behind Daly, and Daly has 30 games played. And Daly's considered a top defenseman in the league. So, Rondon Vellante. I've seen him play. I like him. He's a good guy. I think he's good at defense. I'm pretty surprised he got overlooked. I'm actually kind of surprised to see how this, or I will be surprised to see how this next draft goes next season, as there's a lot of new talent that's coming to the league that are rookie guys that aren't from other leagues that are now getting a chance to showcase their name. And then you got Regretski's pal at center, Wanisimov, who was in 3rd place in the team with 24 games played with 39 points, 19 goals, 20 assists. Yet again, even in both departments, all 3 of their forwards have 1 more assist than they do goals. Actually, Esso is the other way around. Esso has 1 more goal than he does assists, but either way, 1 point off on each one. And his shooting percentage is 19.2. Like, this team must not be taking a lot of shots. If I'm doing the math right now, they have about 320 shots. A little bit more, like around 350 total as a team. And you've got Kinky PB, who's faced more than 500 shots. Time to get Steven shoving it in my face. You know, I think Steve has really improved. as a defenseman. I mean, I've played a few pickup games with him since I've made my own remarks on the Thursday Throwdown, and he has really improved. I think he's kind of taken part of the game that we've all talked about and really worked on it, and he's improved. And I think Regretzky saying it in the articles and such it's been me just kind of skimming over it, but it's been proven. Steve is getting better at defense. He's not puck hogging it as much. He's not carrying it as much, and he does the right thing with the puck. Hats off to him. I don't normally kind of go back on my word on things that I say, but he's proven me wrong, so kudos to him. You got Watch Your Back, the number one goalie right now in the league with 7 shutouts, a 1.76 goals against average with a .874 save percentage. The guy is unreal. He's faced 380 shots. He's only allowed 48 goals in 26 games. The guy is just too good. Guy's good. I can't really say much about him. His new gamer tag is H0L7BY, and I'm only saying it like that instead of Holtby because it gets on his nerves. So, what's up, Watch? Next team we want to talk about is the non-Kane Sensuals. So something I really want to be able to do right now is I really want to be able to break down my team in a light aspect, because of course it is my team, and number 2, I don't want to give up too much in detail, if that makes sense. But let's talk about it. We had D-Mart first place in our team with points at 73 points. He has 32 points ahead of our next forward, which is C-Dub21, who is currently at 41 points. Now, I didn't give my team credit where this was due. Daniel Martin has played all 30 games as a forward. C-Dub has not played all of 30 of his games as a forward. I'm actually going to look at the math right now on it. He has played 8 games at defense, and then the other 22 games at forward. So 8 games at defense is what he has played, and that is, I'm trying to see his defensive stats, so give me 1 second if you can. In his 8 games at defense, he had 7 points. So you take his 7 points of his 41 he has now, and you add in like the same time ratio of the games. He's looking at 22 games played as a forward with 34 points. 34 points at 22 games played, which is not bad at all. He's catching up. He's trying to catch that curve. We did have Agent here as well that was producing and getting points, so that's why that's not there. And Nick's points I don't think have updated fully since being on the squad with only 26 points in 15 games played. And then you got Dunner, who's played all 30 games at right defense for 21 points. You've got me that has 27 games played, but I think I've played 19 games in net. So I still have like the 17 points I had from the 6 games or 8 games, whatever it was that I played out. And then Ian the Marine, who's played all 22 games at defense with only 9 points. And Legion, who's played just net. Offense is actually pretty even on the squad. And I know these numbers don't really say it. Scoring does come from Nick. Scoring comes from Dubs. Scoring comes from Dan. Assists come from all 3 as well. And the assists are coming from the points. It's just working it the way it works it. It's just the way it breaks it down. Myself, I have a 1.84 goals against average with a save percentage of .833, which is actually really good. And then I go look at the standings, and I'm like 6th in the goalie standings now. I'm like, holy shit. That means there's some good goaltending going on this season. So props to anybody ahead of me. That's amazing. Props to anybody even still near me or behind me, because it's not easy being where we're at. So props to everybody. The squad has a lot of potential. I'm saying it from the goalie perspective here. They can move the puck. They can score. Just things have to click a little bit better. Power play needs to go up with a 9.8 save percentage, or 9.8 percentage on the power play. It's god awful. I'm telling you now, our team ruins our own power plays. You could be a sub below, sub temper, subpar defensive team, and we're not going to score on you in the power play. We just don't. End of story. We're leaving it on that. PK 80.4, not the greatest, not the worst. Still, there's that. We'll move on to the Knights of the Frozen Throne. They have 31 points in 24 games played. So they are 7 points behind the non-Kane Sensuals, which are in 4th place. Technically tied for 3rd with the Swift Pups, but they have 3 more games played, so I'm going to go 4th place with that. And they are, what is this, 6 games behind? So they're 2 series behind the non-Kane Sensuals and only 7 points behind. They could easily come and overtake that 4th spot. They could easily come and actually overtake the Swift Pups as well, but the Swift Pups still have a series in hand on the Kane Sensuals and only 1 series above the Knights of the Frozen Throne. So let's break down the Knights of the Frozen Throne. Kosmic Fade, of course, in first place on this team, but not by too much of a standard, but I think it's only because points aren't updating for each individual for what their team's played as. So Cosmic, with 22 games played with the Knights of the Frozen Throne, has 52 points, 26 goals, 26 assists, even across the board. Shooting percentage, 28.6. Then you got OP Jelly right behind him with 25 games played, 50 points, 22% shooting. He's got 27 goals, 23 assists, a little bit more of a scorer than he is a setup kind of guy. And then we got Dalai Lama, first place defenseman in the league, I believe, off the top of my head. 25 games played, 10 goals, 26 assists, 36 points as a defenseman. Amazing. 17.2% shooting percentage, too. That's phenomenal for a defenseman. I can't even believe that. And then you got Agent that is in fourth with 13 games played since the trade. 8 goals, 17 assists, 25 points. He is also tied with Drug Monkey, who has 12 more games played on the roster. 4 goals, 21 assists for 25 points. And the shooting percentage of this team is phenomenal. Now, ability may not be having the greatest time in net, but he still has 4 shutouts, which is more than myself, and it's more than a bunch of other goalies in the league that have played all season. He only has 17 games played. Walker has 8. Walker's allowed a 2.25 save percentage with a .727, and he has 2 shutouts. He has less than half the games I have played, and he has 2 shutouts. I only have 1. So shout out to Walker. Maybe shout out to the defense on the squad. No matter what it is, he has 2 shutouts. Ability has 4 shutouts. Doesn't matter the numbers in that. They're helping their team win, regardless. So I really wanted to point that out for him because I know Ability's been getting a lot of shit, including for myself, on that whole game where he didn't have any saves. But guy's phenomenal. He's a championship goalie. It's what it matters, okay? So we broke down the top 5. Now I want to break down the next 3 teams that are in the top 8. So we got Chili Con Carnage, Netflix and Chill, and Imagination Land. Now, if you talked to me at the beginning of the season, I would have told you all of these teams deserve to be here except for Netflix and Chill. Now, I feel kind of like it's been thrown in my face now. Nobody's brought it up to me, but I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at it here and I'm saying, wow, I fucked up. So I want to cover the Chili Con Carnage quickly, then go into that. You got, whoa. Okay, so surprise me. Surprise me 22. 75 points. I believe he's leading the league with 27 games played. Now, I want to skip over all leading the league in the points thing. This guy's a 47.3 shooting percentage. 47.3. Almost half his shots go in the net. I don't even know. I can't even make a comment on that. That's unbelievable. Then you got Pogs. The guy's a machine at the face-offs. Let's see what he's doing in face-offs this year. Let me click on this. Come on, find me these stats for face-offs. Face-offs won, 586. Face-offs lost. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong season. 392 face-offs won, 343 lost. He has about 53%. That's not bad. He's winning about half his face-offs, a little bit more than half. You got Flood, however you say his name, since joining on the roster. He has 37 points. Zelo, 37 points. And then the guy's gamer tag, it's just straight AIDS in it. The D191 Brad, 17 points at 27 games played. And then they got Bob. They got Slicky Slick. And they're kind of rotating goalies here. Slicky is their number 1. He has the number 1 in ratings, but he has the second most amount of games played behind Zelo. So I'd be surprised if you don't see Zelo start over it. But either way, not much more to break down about the team. They're a good, solid squad. They're making a comeback. They made it from outside of playoffs into playoffs, and they're currently tied with Knights of the Frozen Throne for points for 5th place, but have 3 more games in hand, so that's why I put them as the 6th. Move on to Netflix and Chill. We got the Pale Poner squad. I believe they actually Rule 1 somebody, so I could be mistaken with some things here, but just kind of stick with me if so. Wizzy War, 27 games played, 26 goals, 24 assists, 50 points. Wizzy War was a guy who I believe he was drafted this year, and I'm going to look at his name just to make sure. Drafted 63rd overall by Pale Poner, leading the team in points. Now, this guy was a sub, like a 7th man or whatever you want to call it, for a roster last season. Now he's number 1 in points on the Netflix and Chill squad. I believe that is with a Rule 1, but either way, still number 1 on his team. Behind him is Pale Poner with 1 less game played, 46 points, and they're both shooting above 20%. Then you got Derek GNR, who is mixed in at goalie and other positions at defense with 15 points. Hockey kid. I believe he's playing on the opposite wing. I think he's a waiver, but he's just now signed to the team. I think he's kind of hopping around between defense and forward. So he has 12 points in 6 games played, and then Sniper is hopping between goalie, defense, and forward. So he's got 9 points in 18 games played. Of those 18 games played, he's played as a defenseman. He's played as a goalie. He's played 3 of them as a goalie, so he's hopping around. Coaster, I don't believe he's played since the beginning of the season. Hi, my name is Ed. Has 0 points or anything on the team, so they're not really playing. But I think this team's got to figure it out now that they have a sub. And other than that, it is what it is. So can't really say much more on it. Imagination Land, they are currently sitting in the last playoff spot with 28 points. Joe Stowe in first with 54 points. Brick City is second, 49. Notorious Figo with 42. And then Johnny Blaze with 17. Brick City shooting over 30% with 34. And then Joe Stowe shooting about 28.9%. Figo shooting around 26%. Both doing phenomenal. All three of them doing phenomenal. Brick is hopping around between center and defense. So I know that lineup's changing a little bit from time to time. Figo currently is 7 points behind Brick, but played 11 less games. He's currently 12 points behind Joe Stowe, but he's also had 11 less games. He's he's so many points above Johnny Blaze that I'm not doing the math, and he has 10 less games played, but I think it's just Johnny Blaze plays defense. So either way, Hollywood Bob kind of flops around on the team, 9 points. McGilla just got there 6 games ago. He's had 6 games, 6 points. Mac North playing net, 3 goals against average, .786. Not the hottest season, but still solid goaltender nonetheless. And the rest of the teams, you got Worst Case Ontario, hashtag Ken, Diddling Danglers, Bullet Club, Raising Cane. All of them have solid squads. Like the Worst Case Ontario, I feel like they really lucked out with some things that happened with their team members. But hashtag Chem, Diddley Danglers, Bullet Club, and Raising Cane, they can all make the playoffs. I don't know with how many points they have now if they make the push and make it in, but they all have playoff contending teams, and that really sucks to see anybody miss out. And I'm not going to break down the rest of them because that's kind of not a waste of time, but it's kind of a waste of breath in a sense that Raising Cane's got a good squad. I think they beat We Give 60 in a 2-1 series, and We Give 60 swept my team, Non-Cane Sensuals. So as you can tell, there's talent all around this. Hashtag Chem beat Non-Cane Sensuals, but apparently they can't beat anybody else. I don't know what's going on there. It's not my place. I'm kind of just pointing out like what is happening here. So the Diddling Danglers, what a solid roster. Like you got BTW, you got Santeria, you got Stealth Luca D, DC, Cavalier Stu, BC Renton, Bubba Man. Why isn't this team producing? Why aren't they winning? Santeria, aka Dank Love, 37 points in 21 games played. That's not like him. I don't know if the lineup's not rotating. I don't know if things aren't coming. I don't know if it's because defense has gotten better, goaltending's gotten better, but they're just not scoring. And it really sucks to see. It really does. And I mean, that's what that is with that team, but there's not much more you can do about it. You know, you just got to go out there, you got to play your game, and you got to play hard and hope that you win some matchups and win some games and make that playoff push. So from there, let's talk about tonight's matchup. So tonight, we've got the Bullet Club facing the Knights of the Frozen Throne. And I think Bullet Club's been playing out of their mind lately. Ozzy, Clancy, and Sober up at the front end. And you've got, I believe it's Beautiful Wiener and Master Shotgun, along with Tomahawk back in net. I believe that's the lineup off the top of my head. I'm going to go check just to make sure. That's exactly the lineup. Phoenix has been playing too, kind of mixing in there. So I'm not exactly sure who's playing where. But either way, that's what's going on. They easily can contend against the Knights of the Frozen Throne, but Knights of the Frozen Throne really seem to have their game on. A really solid lineup defensively and goaltending now with a powerhouse offense that's going on. So, I mean, the team can bring it to them. I honestly think the series can go either way, but I'm going to give it to Knights of the Frozen Throne. I'm actually going to give them a sweep. Surprisingly, I really want it to be a 2-1 win for either team, but I really think Knights of the Frozen Throne I've really started getting moving. They've swept their last 3 series. Their lineups are working. Their defense is hot. Their goaltending's doing great. Their offense is clicking. So I think that they just continue to plow through. But going in with the mentality that's a team not in the playoffs, that it could be Bullet Club. Bullet Club really can come in and steal some points here. And they really need to win the series if they want to push for a playoff contender spot. But still, I'm going to guess the 3-0 sweep for the Knights of the Frozen Throne. But I do believe this can go 2-1 either way. I'm hoping to see an upset, obviously, because it helps out our playoff picture for the non-Cane Sensuals, but staying as biased as possible, I still think, or unbiased as possible, sorry, I still think the Knights of the Frozen Throne take the series 3-0. So now we talk about the drop pass for Murphys versus the Swift Pups. In my opinion, this series is going to be all about goaltending. You got Watch versus Watch Your, you got Watch Your Back, or aka Holtby, versus B Crips, the 2 #1 goalies in the league right now. And in my opinion, when the non-Cane Sensuals played the drop pass Murphys, I did not think the squad was that good, and that's no diss to them. I mean, they beat us 2-1, so I won't really have a lot of room to kind of talk smack here with that. But based on the game, they play a lot of chance offense, and then they have a solid defense with great goaltending. And I think they take a lot of chances because they have a great goalie that can keep the puck out. But I think Swift Pups is a team that capitalizes on mistakes. Now, my squad of the non-Cane Sensuals is not so much of one of those squads that capitalizes on mistakes. So Regretsky's Esso and sorry, I'm blanking on the other forward there, Wanisimov. they are a team that will capitalize on those mistakes. They will come in and they will bury the puck, especially on B cribs. So I'm really excited to see how the series go. I think the Swift Pups defense is going to have to play better. And I think the drop pass Murphys are going to have to take less chances in this series. Realistically, this series is going to go 2-1 either way. I'm going to go with Swift Pups just for the sole fact that I think they really do have what it takes to beat the drop pass Murphys. But other than that, it's going to be a solid series nonetheless. Worst case, Ontario versus Raising Cane. I got Raising Cane taking a 3-0 sweep here. No diss to the worst case Ontario. Raising Cane really got their stuff together. They beat We Give 62-1 in the series. They're moving on. They are going. They are trying to make a playoff push. They are trying to make it happen. They absolutely can make this happen. I've got them with a 3-0 sweep. Could be 1-goal games. Could be 4-goal games. I'd love to see worst case Ontario put up a fight, but I do think it's going to be 3-0. Then we got hashtag Kem versus Imagination Land. I say Imagination Land, Brick City. I think Brick City is going to be the pace that dominates this game. He's going to try to make sure that his team stays in the playoff picture because he doesn't have a lot to lose, but it's the whole fact of he tells the league, like, oh, I've never missed a playoffs. I'm not going to miss a playoffs. I think a lot of that feeds into this. I think you're going to see a 2-1 series win for Imagination Land, but again, I could see the series going either way, but I just see Imagination Land taking it because hashtag Kem, for some reason, just doesn't have their stuff together. And then we get the last series of the night, which actually my team is the Non-Cane Centrals versus the Chili Con Carnage. So instead of guessing who's going to win, I'm going to take a sip of water real quickly. So instead of taking a guess on who's going to win, I really want to talk about kind of the dynamics of both teams. So the Chili Con Carnage, you're talking about a team that plays a power forward offense, and they really try to just manipulate the puck to get into a spot where they want it to, whether it's by a low rebound shot, whether it's by passing it to the right spot, whether it's taking advantage of an opportunity. That's what their kind of offense you're talking about. Defense, I don't know their defense, can't really talk about it. Goaltending, it doesn't look like they have strong goaltending, so I think they really rely on a powerhouse offense with Surprise Me and Pogs, and I believe it's Fluid or Float, however you say his name, coming in and kind of saying, hey guys, we're here, let's do this. I'm going to make sure that Float's there. Okay, no. I think it's actually Zelo that's their forward. I think Float's a defenseman. Yeah, Float's a defenseman. So it's going to be Zelo, Pogs, and Surprise Me. You're going to expect Pogs to try to win that faceoff, and you're going to expect him and Surprise Me to work the puck and Zelo to kind of mix in with that and really find a chance to put the puck in on the net on me. They're going to try multiple ways of scoring, I believe. If one doesn't work one way, then I think they're really going to be a full-on attack kind of team. But we'll see if and when that moment happens. Now, for the Non-Cane Centrals, you got a team that likes to work a cycle. You got a team that looks for a nice shot. That looks for an opportunity to kind of push in on a goalie when someone's not expecting it kind of thing. You got a defense that may not be the greatest at a breakout, but could still get it out there. And you may not have a defense that's as included in the offense as it should be, but they will strike when unexpected. So I think both rosters kind of have something into this game going into it that's like, we're not too familiar with what they're going to do or how they're going to do it, but we need to respect both offenses. We need to respect both defenses and both each other's goaltending, because I think this is a series that could absolutely go either way. I'm not kidding. I think it could be a sweep for either team. I think it could be a 2-1 for either team. It's really one of those series where I don't know who's going to win. Of course, I want to pick my own team, but I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I could see the Chili Con Carnage taking a 3-0 sweep. I could see the Non-Cane Centrals taking a 3-0 sweep. I could see it being 2-1 Chili or 2-1 Non-Cane. And it really depends on whose team comes out, whose team puts the first puck in the net, and what team keeps adjusting to the other team's play style. So that's kind of what I'm seeing now, and that's kind of where that's going. Cosmic just said he's now waking up. Wow, that's phenomenal. Let me see if I can join the 239 chat here and get my audio to work. I don't believe it's going to, but I'm going to try to get it to. I can't hear anything in Discord, even if it is working. But either way, I'm going to exit out of that, go back in. Still got no volume. That's fantastic. Yeah, I literally got no volume, so I'm just going to exit out of Discord while I'm still talking to you guys. So either way, I still think those series can go either way. What are we at? 8:30? I've been live for 30 minutes. Wow. Okay, I feel like I've been talking for an eternity. But we were going to do a segment called Hot Takes. I want to let everybody know that. And we were supposed to bring somebody on where Cosmo was going to just start bombing them with questions and kind of ask them their take on maybe this team or this player and kind of go from there and try to catch them on by surprise. So that's what was going on with that. But as you can tell, it's just me. So hot take, Kosmic Fade. Kid falls asleep during the show. Shouldn't be on it. Kick him out of the league. Rule 1. I'm just kidding. Love the guy. But either way, he fell asleep during his own show. And then we got other messages and stuff, and yeah, now he's messaging me on Steam. Okay. And yeah, so that's that. You got the other matches: the Diddling Danglers versus Praetorian Guard. You got Chili Con Carnage versus Netflix and Shell. You got Non-Kane Centrals versus the Diddling Danglers. A bunch of series here. I think a key series here. We got 2 key series that are coming during this week. And it's going to be on, I'm trying to see the date of the week here, Thursday. You've got the Knights of the Frozen Throne playing the Swift Pups, and you've got We Give 60 playing the Drop Pass Murphys. Now, these are the 4 teams we all need to watch this week, because these games are going to determine 1st through 5th place. That's how you're going to see this. It could either knock the Non-Kane Centrals down to 5th. It could put them up higher. You could see We Give 60 go down to 3rd or 4th. You could see the Swift Pups take 2nd place. You could see the Drop Pass Murphys drop down from 1st. You could see any opportunity happen here within the top 5 teams. So that's realistically something that's going on that's kind of insane right now. You're muted on Discord. Okay. So I'm really excited to kind of see how these series are going to go. Remember, that's Thursday. That'll be probably after the Throwdown if the Throwdown's not on Wednesday this week, which I don't know the schedule. I just kind of know the night of the day. So, yeah, there is that. Those are the key matchups I wanted to talk about for now. Well, let's plug the Walker's 6v6 tournament. So, guys, listen to me. Walker has started a 6v6 EASHL tournament where you form your own team. Each player pays a $10 buy-in. First place team gets like $450, which comes out to like $75 a player or something like that. First place goal in the league is going to get an extra $20, I believe. MVP of the tournament is going to get an extra $20. And then casters, there's going to be casters. The streams, games are going to be streamed live. There's going to be stuff like that. Listen to me. Now, you may see a lineup that is scary to play against. You may see several lineups to play that are scary against. Don't let that ruin it. This is your chance to money is money, of course, but don't be afraid to go find a team, go find some friends you enjoy playing with, and just play. That's the whole intention of it. It's supposed to be some fun. That's how it's supposed to go. Don't be afraid to go find your friends, find 5 friends, find a few friends, then just get a team together. Go into the forum, sign up your name and your team, give a team name, and have some fun with it, because that's what it's supposed to be, is just fun. And now that I finished that, Kosmic Fade's actually in here. I've been doing the show for 30 minutes by myself, buddy. How you doing? So you fell asleep? Yeah, I sent you a message at 7:00. No. I sent you a message around 6 o'clock. I don't even say, it doesn't even tell me what time you replied at. And then I think I replied like 30 minutes later saying, we need topics because I'm so out of ideas. And you just didn't reply to them. And I was like, uh-oh. And I had already posted the form. And I was like, oh, okay. So. I'm here, though. Okay. My voice is kind of raspy, but, you know, you're good. You're good. So we broke down the league standings. Well, I broke down the league standings. Broke down tonight's matchups. I just kind of plugged Walker's tournament, and I then kind of talked about kind of like the week matchups that are very important. Like Thursday night, we've got you guys versus I believe it's Swift Pups, and then we've got We Give 60 versus the Drop Pass Murphys. And I was talking about how those are like 4 teams, of course, in the top 5. That will determine kind of what the top 5 will look like going into playoffs. Like, you guys could go from number 4 or number 5, I can't remember exactly what spot you guys are at, and overtake to like 2nd or 3rd place. You guys could stay at number 5 or just drop down. You guys could get the Murphys to lose a few series and drop down as well. So, like, those were the 2 key series I said we need to watch this week. We also got Chili Con Carnage versus the Non-Kane Sensuals, but that's tonight. That's not later on in the week, so I wanted to point that out. Is there anything realistically you want to talk about with the standings, with any team, anything like that? Because I know you haven't been here for a little bit, so.
On my team or just the standings?
Anything in general. Anything in general. It can be about your team. It could be about any team, any player, anything you want.
Well, like I said last week, and still after the series of games that just happened, the top 5 is still very close. 46 to 37 from 1 to 5. That's quick math. That's a 9-point range.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyways, so 9 points in between first and 5. That's
Basically a series and one extra game.
Series.
Yeah, 2 series basically. Yeah.
So if a couple teams drop a game or drop a couple games that realistically they're not supposed to lose, and a team gets on a hot streak, and things just pan out the way for a team, you know, one could be down to three, three could be the one, it's very close, and obviously down in the 6, 7, 8, which at this point I kind of call like the wild card range, right?
Yep.
2 or 3 spots left. You got Chili Con Carnage, Netflix, and Chill, and Imagination Land currently holding 6, 7, 8. They're 3 points away from each other, 28 to 30. Like everything's really close. Maybe not from at this point. Maybe not first 8. It's not as close anymore, but definitely still playoff contention for teams like Rays and Kane. Maybe even Bullet Club if something goes really wrong. But
Well, let's say this. So the Bullet Club take on, I think, Raising Cane tonight.
no,
If I, oh, they take you guys on tonight? Okay. I did read that Bullet Club takes on Raising Cane somewhere. I don't know if it was this week or something from prior, but either way, Netflix and Chill and Imagination Land both on the brink of being overtaken by Praetorian Guard and Raising Cane. Now, Praetorian Guard has the same amount of games played as Netflix and Chill and Imagination Land, but Raising Cane has 3 more games played, and they are 1 point behind Praetorian Guard, but 2 points behind Imagination Land and 4 points behind Netflix and Chill. So this is all a series. Like literally, there's one series in here for everybody. If Netflix and Chill and Imagination Land both bomb a series while Praetorian Guard and Raising Cane win, they have now just officially put themselves in the playoffs. So to me, this is, I can't believe how close it is all around this board. So we do know that from the 4th place spot, our 5th place spot down to Chili Con Carnage, there's 6 points there. That's a whole series between 5 to 4, or I mean 6 to 5, sorry. But from 6 to 8, you were perfectly said with it, 3 points. And then from 8 down to 10 is 2 points. And then from that, it's 3 points. It's the fact of it's unreal actually how close all of this is right now. The top 5 teams are so close to each other with points. Like you never know who's going to win what. I mean, Drop Pass Murphy's have 5 more points than everybody, at least. So, I mean, they're kind of comfortable where they're at, but We Give 60 has 3 more points than Swift Pups, 3 more points than Non-Cane Sensuals. They have 4 more points than the Knights of the Frozen Throne. That's, to me right there, like that's why I was saying 1 through 5 can be predicted in any series at any time. All it takes is Drop Pass Murphys to have a bad series and then kind of an average series where they lose a series still, and it's just they are now back into the 3 spot with Swift Pups and We Give 60 kind of taking it, or Non-Cane and Knights of the Frozen Throne taking it. Like, hell, your team and my team could have a few bad series, and we're not even in the top 5 anymore. So that's a close race in itself, but I have no idea. 6 through 10, I think Chili Con Carnage stays in there, but 7 through 10, I have no idea who's taking the final 2 playoff spots. I have no idea whatsoever. Because Raising Cane's got their shit together. Praetorian Guard seems like they're still losing their shit. Imagination Land seems to be playing like they just have been, and they're lucky enough to stay in it. And Netflix and Chill just lost the number 1 guy, and they'll be lucky enough to stay in the playoffs. So I don't know what's going on there, but let me hear you break it down a little bit more if you want to.
The standings in general, right? Yeah. Like I said, everything's still really close in a serious way. Unfortunately, it's not looking too good for the bottom 3. I mean, maybe Diddling Danglers. They're 6 points out of an 8 spot. If Imagination gets swept.
Well, and they still have 3 less games played than at least every team, and then some 6 games less than other teams. So they've still got some time to catch up for a playoff spot at least.
Yeah, they would have to go on an absolute tear, but other than that, hashtag Ken worst case Ontario. I don't think it's looking too good for them. It might be a wrap, but like I said, I don't think they're. How many games are this season? 36, 39?
I think it's 39. I mean, there's 14 teams and 3 games apiece. 14, 28. Yeah, a little bit more than that, but still.
I don't know about mathematically, but 13 or 14, that's pretty much a wrap for them. And if I had to say, probably 12 as well, but I'd say,
You're looking at 42 games.
yeah, 42 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be an absolute tear for Diddling Danglers to
I think they could. I mean, they're 6 points behind Imagination Land, which is literally a series sweep if they could take one. But obviously, they're not having the greatest time with that right now. All it takes is Imagination Land to have a few bad series. It literally just takes all the teams from 7 to 10 to just have a few bad series, and that includes playing each other. So, I mean, that's not going to happen. But it takes them to have some bad series, and it takes the Diddling Danglers to really kind of light it up as much as they can and take advantage of the series that they have left to get in.
So, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see how this goes. I mean, the bottom couple of teams are probably gonna really go hard for these couple of series because
They need the wins. Yep.
that might be a couple of interesting series to watch, especially if some of the bottom teams play each other and try and overtake each other as it comes close to playoff times. Those might be some good series to watch.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I already kind of told him you wanted to do this hot takes thing, but that was with somebody on the show, and you weren't here, so that person couldn't be here, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to just kind of end it here?
I mean, that was kind of quick, but hey, I mean, for me at least, I don't know how long you've been on, but
40 minutes.
you got anything else on the?
I literally got nothing else. The only thing I could literally talk about is what teams are scoring, what teams aren't. Power play and penalty kill maybe. I already kind of talked about how my team is on the frickin' struggle bus for the power play. It's laughable, and then our penalty kill is not that great either. So that's another laughable thing.
My team in the beginning of the season, and especially last season, like for my 3 secret team, our power play was the worst. I think we're like second to last in the league for power play. But our 5-on-5 was insane somehow, some way.
Yeah.
But I think our Knights of Frozen Throne team, maybe after a trade for agent, right, that moved me to the center. And I mean, we've been scoring a little bit more. There's been a little bit more passing, connecting. I think a lot of the power play has to do with the point guys, right? The point guys really have to find a way to either get your wingers open for a shot, or they take a high quality shot from maybe somebody to tap it in, or it just goes in on its own. Who knows? But
Yeah.
you always have to try and find that open guy. And I think it really starts with the defense and the power play. So.
Agreed. I 100% agree, and that's. Let me tell you this, Cosmic. My team is second to last place in the league in power play with a 9.8%. We're exactly the Victoria's Secret of last season. We're like in the higher percentage of like who's putting the puck in the net with 5-on-5, but our power play we can't score on for shit. And then our penalty kill, it's always just for some godforsaken. Let me tell you this: the last 2 series we've played in, every time we've had a penalty, one of our defensemen have turned over the puck in our zone for an easy like one-on-one goal with somebody. As in like last series, Ian the Brian on a penalty turned it over to Pale to give him a breakaway and just scored on me. And I was like, okay, well that's cool. And that's how our penalty kill goes sometimes. But either way, our power play is not too hot, but our 5-on-5 game's working. So I know exactly what you mean by that. So either way.
My team's penalty kill. We're second in the league behind drop pass Murphy's. They have 90.4. We have 90.2.
Not too much of a difference there. I think that's you guys are pretty close in a race with each other there.
And they're killing the penalties. I think it's more or less that we're not taking as many penalties.
So they're not as hard to kill off.
Kill off in succession.
Yeah. I'll tell you this as well. Every time my team takes a penalty, they always take 2. It's never just 1, so it's always like a 5-on-3. So that doesn't help at all. But either way, my team's still the only team without an overtime loss. Yay. Woohoo. Yay, go team. But either way, I mean, I'm out of topics to talk about, man. Everybody can just go look at the standings on the site and look at anything they want to look at with that. But either way, teams are lightening up. Teams aren't lightening up. People need to win. People don't need to win. Whatever. It doesn't matter. That's the show. Bang. Boo-hoo. Win. All right. Are we good on that then? We calling it? All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We'll try to be back next Monday. I'm going to try not to do every media show this week so I'm not out of ideas. And yep. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, it's been your boy Cosmic and Cortez, and we're out. Peace.